It's Nintendo Direct Day with a Nintendo Direct partner showcase. They have a new intro to start things off. I mean, that's pretty cool. Monster Hunter Stories 3 is the first game up on the docket. I definitely didn't expect to see this, but I think it looked pretty good. Now, this game will be coming out in 2026. Monster Hunter Stories is, of course, an offshoot of the mainline Monster Hunter games, more so focused on, like, story, as the title kind of says, Monster Hunter Stories, than the traditional Monster Hunter games. It seems like this franchise is starting to gain a lot more steam lately, though. I mean, Monster Hunter is pretty much at its highest peak that it's been at yet when it comes to both, you know, fan reception and the amount of fans that are getting involved into the franchise. The game will be coming out in 2026. There's a new Katamari Damacy game. Now, this is actually for the Nintendo Switch 1, but, I mean, it'll work on the Switch 2. It's called Once Upon a Katamari. It has online multiplayer, character customization. I am a fan of this franchise, and, you know, I never expected there to really be a new Katamari Damacy game. It looks pretty cool, though. Once Upon a Katamari comes out on October 24th. Just Dance 2026 is coming to your Nintendo Switch 1, pal, and, I mean, who buys this every year? Like, it has to be profitable. There has to be people buying it, or else they wouldn't make it every single year. They, of course, being Ubisoft. I just don't care about this. I didn't even write down the release date. I'm sorry if you're a Just Dance 2026 fan, but, you know, you're not going to get a lot of coverage from me for that game. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, not Sparkling Zero, as I've said before in the past. Look, I'm not a Dragon Ball guy. It comes out on Switch 2. There's also a Switch 1 version. Comes out on November 14th. So if you want to play as like Goku and what's another guy? Piccolo. I think Piccolo is a character in that. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. If you're into Dragon Ball, that's awesome. I'm glad that it's something that makes you happy. But I don't care. It's one of those things where it's like, if you haven't been watching it for like 20 years, like, you're just screwed. You're not going to know what the hell is going on. Like I said, comes out on November 14th. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, like an HD version of the original Plants vs. Zombies. I don't care about this. I didn't write down the release date because why is this here? This is something you could just talk about on Twitter if you're EA. Ariaga 2 will be making an appearance on the Nintendo Switch 2 with FC26, a soccer game. They showed Switch 2 footage of the game. It looks pretty solid, honestly. You know, nice graphics. I haven't played a soccer game in a long time. I don't think this is going to change my mind, but hey, you know, it's a worldwide sport. You know, people do get crazy views. I might actually play it because people get crazy views. I remember when like FIFA came out on the Switch 1, people were getting crazy views covering that game, just showing gameplay. So I might do it. I'm rescinding what I said before. I gotta make money. It's a business, pal. Pac-Man World 2 Repack, a remake of the original game. Looks nice. Local co-op mode as well. That'll be coming out on September 26th, so that's kind of cool if you're a Pac-Man fan, because I wasn't a fan of Shadow Labyrinth. Just got to keep it honest with you guys. Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is coming to the Switch family of systems. We've, of course, seen this game before, but this will be coming out on September 30th, so if you've been holding out on which system to get it on, you can get it on September 30th on your Switch family of system. Persona 3 Reload. I can hear OJ and all the other weebs freaking out with excitement about getting to play as high school kids and getting to go to school and fight demons. I don't know, man. Whatever. October 23rd for all my weeb viewers out there. Yes, I am RPG85, but I'm selective with my RPGs. Here was a nice little surprise. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I thought there was a chance it would be here, considering, you know, it's a collaborative effort between Koei Tecmo and Nintendo, so it technically is a partner game. I think it looks much better in terms of visuals and performance than Age of Calamity, which, I mean, that's not really saying all that much because that game just did not run great at all. But it's nice to see that they are utilizing the additional power of the Nintendo Switch 2. I think this is going to be a really fun game. I'm looking forward to playing it. And when am I going to be playing it? I don't know, because there was no freaking release date. They said it launches this winter. Like, what the hell is that? What? Like, bro, like, it was a new trailer and it was nice. You know, it was a little bit on the short side, but like, you can't give me a release date? Like, what are we doing here? That's kind of weird, dog. Madden footage. I know you don't care about Madden, but I'm a sports fan. You know, go New York Giants. It's just nice to see games like this on a Nintendo system again after it's been a very long time since we've seen stuff like this before. I think Madden 26 looks very nice on the Switch too. The performance seems nice. The graphics seem nice. I'll probably be checking it out, honestly. August 14th, you'll be able to play Madden. I think there's like an early version, like a super version that you can buy that gives you early access to the game. And then here's the game of the presentation. Chilling by the fire. We are here, boys. You get to chop wood. You can light a fire on the beach, and you got to like factor in, oh, is this wood wet? Is this wood dry? I have to blow on the fire to keep it going. It uses a USB camera, and it was just like 4 grown-ass men sitting around a fire together with like no beer, and I'm like, what? Okay, you're on a beach? Like, what? You know, no disrespect. Chilling by the fire. If that's your cup of tea, it comes out today. So a nice little stealth drop there. Have fun chilling by the fire. They showed off Apex Legends 2 Switch Edition. Or Switch 2. No, let me start that over, pal. Apex Legends Switch 2 Edition. There we go. They did not announce a sequel at this event. Is Apex still popular? I haven't really heard many people talk about it recently. You know, it looks all right. It definitely looks a lot better and runs better than the Switch 1 version of the game did. I'm just kind of, you know, I don't know. Like, are people still excited for this game? It comes out on August 5th. What the hell is this? It's a game called Hella. This honestly looks like a very Celia game. You play as a little Stuart Little-esque mouse in a big world trying to find remedies for your sick friend or something like that. And you can play with multiple players, online co-op. You do stuff in the game. 2026 release window. Okay. Star Wars Outlaws. Don't be fooled by this game. This game, it's not a good game. Like, it's just not a good game. And they also didn't show, like, K-Vess exploring any of the planets. If you watch the trailer, like, that's mad suspect to me. They showed cutscenes. They showed little snippets. They showed some flying segments. But they never showed her walking around on a planet. And I'm like, why is that? Like, you're hiding something here, Ubisoft. The game comes out on September 4th. Don't buy it. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's not a Star Wars game. If you're an action-adventure fan, it's just a mediocre game at best. So, I don't know. You can do whatever you want. It's your money. I'm just trying to help you out here. Chronos. Now, this actually looks cool. I've seen trailers of this game before, and it didn't really super interest me. But, like, this trailer was very well done, and it actually made me interested in the game. You know, survival horror, low resources, monsters, once you kill them, confused together. You know, like a living monster confused with a dead monster to create another monster. Why are you here? What happened to the planet? Blah, blah, blah. September 5th, I'm buying this. I'm getting this game. This was... I hate to say it, but this might have been the highlight of the presentation for me, even though it's a game that we already knew about. Yakuza Kiwami 2. Now, you'd think I'd like this series, since it's kind of an evolution of Shenmue, but I played the one, and I've played, like, Yakuza, like the first one on the PS2 and the second one on the PS2, but it's been a very long time. I bought Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. I thought the combat was just too fast. Like, it just, I don't know. It just felt like more like a crazy beat-em-up game, which I guess that's kind of what it's going for, but I felt like if the combat was slowed down like 10%, it would have been much more enjoyable for me. But I think this combat looks a bit more grounded, so maybe. Graphically, it looks very nice. The OG game is also... Yakuza Kiwami 1 is also coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2 on the same day. Both of these games are coming out on November 13th, so we're going to have 3 Yakuza games in the first, 6 months on the Switch 2. Sizzle Real Time, there was nothing in here besides Shinobi, which, Shinobi's cool. But the other stuff I didn't care about. And then we got our final 2 games. And Square Enix was taking the stage and the spotlight. And you're probably thinking I know what they're going to show. And you'd be wrong. They actually showed off 2 brand new games. The Adventures of Elliot. was the first game. Comes out in 2026. It is a new HD 2D game from Squeenix. There is a demo available today. Kind of an action-adventure gameplay style, not like turn-based or anything like that, you know, Link to the Past-ish, I guess you would say. You have a fairy companion with you that talks and has a really annoying voice. You can do different types of combat. You can upgrade your combat. You can do all sorts of fun stuff. It looks all right. You know, I don't know. I'm not super interested in it or anything like that. Like I said, or maybe I didn't say, there is a demo available today, so that's pretty cool. And then the final game was Octopath Traveler 0, a prequel to the Octopath Traveler series. Looks pretty cool, you know, comes out on December 4th. If you're an Octopath fan and really into those games, then you'll probably be very happy to see this. But as this presentation wrapped up, I'm like, isn't there stuff missing? Isn't it like, no Microsoft, okay? Where's an update on Final Fantasy VII Remake? Where's an update on Elden Ring, like a gameplay trailer or something like that? Where are a bunch of games from Capcom? Like Capcom had Monster Hunter Stories 3, and then that was it. And I'm like, you're not doing any Resident Evils or anything like that? You know, a lot of people had all these crazy expectations. I saw people talking about Expedition 33, Metaphor, Metal Gear Solid were all going to be here, and none of those were there. Like, you know, this was a very meh presentation. And, you know, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, there was some cool stuff, you know, some new stuff. There was a stealth drop. So as a presentation overall, like, I don't think it was terrible. It went by pretty fast and all that. But my problem with it was a lot of these games were just kind of like, all right, you know, I guess that's cool. You know, some of the stuff we knew about, some of the stuff we didn't know about. But I just felt like a lot of things were potentially missing. And maybe expectations were just too high. But when you look at, like, other systems and other games coming out on other systems, it's kind of like, well, why aren't these coming out on Switch too? I don't know, just something to keep in mind. Obviously, companies can announce games on their own terms, on their own time, but I don't know. This just wasn't a very entertaining presentation to me. There was some cool stuff here and there, but for the most part, like most of the games, I'm just really not super interested in. But maybe you are. Maybe you're excited to play a game where you go back as a high school kid. Maybe you didn't enjoy high school. I had fun in high school. I had a good time. Cost my parents a lot of money, but that's a story for another day. Let me know what you thought about the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase in the comment section down below. Are you excited for the games here? Did you think it was meh? Did you think it sucked? There is no right or wrong answer. It's all just opinions. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.